What's up, you guys? Robert Welcome Rod here, talking about some Marvel movie changes to the schedule that have come about over the past week or so. We're getting to this a little bit late, just because it's not a lot going on in the movie world right now, and admittedly, we're going to probably be doing a little less on the movie side here because there's just more TV stuff coming out and everything movie related is being pushed because this VOD movement for now seems like it's not going to go anywhere past the movies that were released in March, like The Way Back and Onward and so on. So we're probably going to be doing a little more TV moving forward, but I do think we need to go into the Marvel changes that came about over the past week because I personally thought that Black Widow had a chance of being released on VOD or even going to Disney Plus too, or at least, or maybe both things happening. Not the case here, clearly, because Disney released its officially updated Marvel movie schedule now for 2020 into 2021 and even into 2022 with some new findings here. So start off with Black Widow, of course, getting moved to November 6, 2020. Originally, The Eternals was supposed to be that fall release date, but it is now Black Widow. That's a 6-month change, which is going to suck for a lot of people. I mean, or just being disappointed because it was originally supposed to come out on May 1st. Obviously, that's not going to happen anymore. Due to the coronavirus pandemic that's still ongoing and still taking thousands of lives. So the Black Widow film is going to be coming out later this year. You know what? We got to wait 6 months for it. It is what it is. You got to put up with it. But the most interesting thing I think that's going to come about this now is now that that's pushed back, what's going to happen to the Marvel TV shows, because there's the Falcon, the Winter Soldier that had to stall production. There was the WandaVision show too, Loki. Now, Falcon and Winter Soldier did not finish production. I don't know if WandaVision did. I would imagine if it did, that maybe we get it sometime later this year still. I don't think we're going to get Falcon and the Winter Soldier still, but who knows. I think that could be effects that are kind of bounce off each other there. And then that plays into the next movie that would be The Eternals, which got moved into February of 2021. Now, The Eternals was supposed to be the big ensemble cast is supposed to come out this fall, be a good fall release for amid all the other crazy things that happened during the holiday season. Obviously, that's not happening anymore. It's getting pushed into the February spot that was once owned by Black Panther, which in February of 2018 made over $1 billion. Now, that does not mean the Eternals will get $1 billion, but absence makes the heart grow fonder, so I could see Black Widow getting $1 billion at the box office, and the same with the Eternals. Of course, though, it depends on how comfortable everyone is going out to the movie theaters in packed crowds by then. We just don't know how that's going to be, if that's ever going to happen again, especially with AMC theaters and other movie chains being in trouble right now, which is a whole nother topic. But if they are able to still hit the theaters, I would still pencil them in for $1 billion, just hypothetically, but could be wrong. Now, getting a prime May spot is Shang-Chi, which was originally supposed to come out in February. Now, May has been, or that late April to May range has been used for the Avengers movies, and you've seen how well those do. Those are also just in general a prime area of dates. So the fact that Shang-Chi is getting an early May release, it's very good. It's going to fit in right with that summer blockbuster set, and it's going to really make a new, fresh Marvel character stand out, and what's going to be a fresh new all the way through 2021 for the MCU here, because then we're going to get Doctor Strange too, which of course is a carryover, but moved to the end of the year, and you would think we're gonna get a few more character additions on that avenue, on that front. So we'll see, because Doctor Strange did get moved to November, and by then that will mark 5 years since the last Doctor Strange movie, even though we have seen plenty of Stephen Strange in the MCU in the years since. but it's just one of the many things that are being pushed back, and Marvel's still keeping its prime dates that it usually holds. Again, the February, May, and November dates, sometimes December too, which we'll get into right here. Well, first, before we get into that, there is Thor Love and Thunder, which was originally supposed to be a November 2021 release. Now that has been pushed to February 2022. So we have quite a long time before we're going to see Thor return to the big screen, with Taika Waititi returning as director, along with the return of Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, and the likely inclusion of the Guardians of the Galaxy in here to play off that ending of the Avengers Endgame film from 2019. Then there's Black Panther, which will now have a release date 4 years after the fact, which is long, but situations warrant it right now, unfortunately. So Black Panther's coming out in May 6, 2022. It's going to return Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther, T'Challa. I'm very excited to see a bigger uncovering of Wakanda, and by then, again, absence makes the heart grow fonder. That will be 4 years without the Black Panther solo film. There's also just so much going on in the MCU that it's hard to balance out everything, and it's harder for it to compare to the early 2010s when they were able to pump out films a little more quicker, like Iron Man had 2008, 2010, 2013. Captain America had 2011, 2014, and 2016. Thor had 2011, 2013, and 2017. We're going to see these dates grow and spread apart, just like we're seeing Captain Marvel, which is going to come out in July of 2022 as well. That's going to be a July 8th release. So that's going to be 3.5 years, or a little under 3.5 years since the first Captain Marvel. We don't know what direction Carol Danvers is going to go in by then, if that's going to be after the events of Endgame, or if they're going to play off after the events of Captain Marvel set in the 90s, which we could see more of Ronan the Accuser, who kind of tailed off after the ending of the film to parts unknown. So we'll see where that goes to. And a business also too. Sony has now updated what they're doing with Spider-Man 3, or the untitled Spider-Man film for the MCU. It was originally supposed to come out in July of 2021. Marvel and Disney, of course, did not include that in their slate because that's ultimately up to Disney. It's ultimately up to Sony. So Sony gets to choose, and right now they've pushed all their movies back for this year into next year, including Morbius. So we'll see. I would not expect Spider-Man to still be going on at that time, but Spider-Man's also a huge deal for Sony, and if by chance things are starting to open up later this summer, perhaps they rush the production, even though I don't think it's a great idea. They could always push it into maybe a December release for 2021, perhaps. But even then, would Disney and Marvel be willing to put movies that close to each other? I mean, yeah, they did do that with Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame, but that was a little wider. That was about 7 weeks. So maybe hey, that'd be cool. We get a Christmas release as Spider-Man. Well, we'll have to see what direction they go in for it. So I'm excited to see where these Marvel films are going to go. Same thing with the TV shows. Unfortunately, everything's delayed right now. We're not getting any new Marvel content until November here, which is right now 7 months. It seems like a really long time, especially with everyone home right now. There's not much to do. There's not really any new content coming out on the movie entertainment front, unless someone surprises here, or unless you're relying on Hulu, Netflix releases and whatnot, which can be hit or miss. But then again, everything's hit or miss. So we'll see where this goes. We're going to keep following this along. I'll do another video if there's another update that comes out about the Marvel stuff. Right now, I don't think there's going to be anything. Maybe we'll do a Batman update at some point for the DC side of things, but everything's kind of at a standstill right now. You don't know when anything's going to really pick back up again. It sucks, but it's necessary right now, because trust me, I want to see this stuff. I want to see Black Widow. I was excited to go see it on May 1st. I was excited for Eternals in November. I was even for movies outside of the comic book realm, especially after seeing Bloodshot. Oof, God, uh, you need to get that taste out of our mouths. If you didn't see the film, good on you. So maybe we'll even do some MCU lookbacks at some point, because I have some notes taken down from a couple of the earliest MCU movies. So maybe we'll do a little bit on that. Maybe we'll do some deep dives, some retroactive reviews here, see if people are into it, see if people care enough, and we'll go from there. So thanks for tuning in to this edition of Wolken Films. You can follow me on Twitter at RealRobWolken, which is in the description below. You can also please subscribe below too. We need your subscriptions. We need to get the word out about this stuff that we're doing here, even though this is a very quiet time for movies. Like I said too, we're going to be going into some TV content. Of course, we've been doing Better Call Saul. I hope we can get into some new releases that are coming out, possibly Mrs. America that's coming out on Hulu. There's Run that's debuting on HBO, which if you're watching this on Sunday, it's coming out tonight. We might be doing something on that, so stay tuned for that. And perhaps I might do a content video on Westworld. Not a review, maybe a talking point from it. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching and be well.